Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today is one of those days we're going to need to get your bean counters out to see how many times I say the words big, massive or any synonym of the whole thing. We're going to be building the 1/6 scale Shelby Mustang. So this is the 1967 Mustang. It's absolutely ginormous. Now obviously we built a Mustang on the channel before. Let me just show you the door of this, but we only built it in 1/8 scale. Look, I'm saying only. But obviously in this one, it's 1/6 scale. So it's absolutely ginormous, as you can see there. But we're going to be adding on to that today. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I don't know how long this is going to be available for. So every time I do say, if you want to get this for yourself, and I put the link in the video description and the QR code on the screen, you're just going to have to check that for yourself. Because I do believe this is now stopping in some territories, but you need to check that out for yourself. But I'm going to jump straight into it. Today, we're actually going to be working on stages 9 to 13. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So here's the magazine for stage 9. Each stage does come with its own magazine. And it looks like we're going to be doing the next wheel. Now, because these wheels are so big, we do have inserts to put inside of these to actually keep the rigidity of the structure support of that whole wheel. We put some clips in to keep that up. So then we've got the wheel completed there. So I'll just keep turning. We've already done one wheel on this build already. And that's the rest of the magazine. So here is that wheel here. And again, everything is just oversized on this build. So obviously the bag that this comes in is massive as well. And because of the size of this wheel, you're not going to need to soak this in water because it is actually quite manipulatable. God, these big long words I'm using today, at the moment. So what I am going to do is take these plastic inserts and put these into the wheel. Now this is going to take a bit of pushing around and stuff, but you should be able to get them in. Getting the first one in is easy. Getting the second one in, a bit more of a challenge for you. But it should have enough stretchability for you to do that. Don't be afraid to go to town on this to get this in. As you see, I'm really pushing it around. And there you go. Does take some pushing, but I've got that in there without using any boiling water. So once that's in, I've got these little clips here which are going to hold the joins together. If you look on the top camera, you might be able to see the joins in there, just to keep them together. So I'll put one in that side. And that's clipped in like that. And then I just need to put one in the other side here. And there you go. We've got a tyre, which you can see is now solid. That's the end of that stage. That leads us on to stage 10. Again, here is the magazine. Have a flick through. And now we're going to be putting the rims on the wheel that we've just put on here. So by the end of it, we will have one completed wheel. And I keep turning. And that is the end of that magazine. So this time, this looks like this. Very heavy bag this is. So once again, I can tell you that some of these sections are metal. As a matter of fact, I think they all are, because this is metal. And this is metal. And we do have some screws there as well. So the first thing I need is this part of the rim here. And in this bag, which has got some little details in, I've got the valve. This is what the valve looks like. And that's just going to be pushing in to the hole just here. So when I push this in, get it all the way down, you can see it comes out the other side there. I'm then going to be taking this section here. This is going to be going, whoops, dropping it. This is going to be going this way round, keyhole pattern on top, just like that there. So from this side, it looks like you can see the bolts for it. Bring over the wheel, just checking the orientation of the tread here. I want this way round. This is just going to go into this side here. Now, it might be worth noticing, when you put the rims in, you do have some little tabs on this side here and this side here, just at the back here. You need to make sure they're in the slot so this can fit fully down so that when I put this section on top, it's going to be able to easily line up with the part below it. You need to make sure they line up because this one's got the same tabs here and here. And again, you need to make sure that they match the grooves that are on those clips that we put in. So just lining them up. Make sure I put it around the right way so that that can fit perfectly in there like that. That's going to be held in with a DS19 screws. That's the silver screws that come in this stage. And I'm using my PH1 screw to put these in. Big thicker screwdriver, this one. And what you want to do is just screw it gently. Don't tighten it fully because you want to get a collection of screws in all the way around just to make your life easier to put this together. So that's 2. I'll put 1 just here as well on this side, which should be enough to actually now tighten everything up. And then just 1 more screw just to go in here. And that's them all up nice and tight. And that is the wheel complete, as you can see there. Now we do have a hubcap for this, which is in a little bit of plastic here. Perhaps I should keep that in there. But I think what I'm going to do is just gently put that down where it's going to go there. But that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 11, now we've done the wheels, we're going to be moving away from that area. We're going to be moving back to the door that we were creating in the last pack. And we got the window glass to put in, the little corner light there, and some strips to go in, and some clamps pretty much. So it's looking just like that at the end. And again, this is the rest of the magazine. Every time I open a new pack, it's just amazing to me how big these parts actually are. I'm so used to doing 1.8 vehicles. When you actually see a 1.6 vehicle, it's like, wow. Okay, so just to start this stage, I'm going to put my part work upgrades mat down. And I'm going to be putting the door that we created in the last stage on. Because what I want to do is along this edge here, I want to put a little bit of protection. This is a little bit of felt, which is just going to go on here like that. So, let's get that on. Because I'm believing that these windows are going to be going up and down, and if you didn't have this, it's going to scratch along the surface of that metal door, which you don't want. And if that happens, you're going to have a bad time. So just make sure that's in line with the top of the door there. That's perfect. What I want to do then is take this quarter light window looking like this, and that's just going to be going over the 2 holes that we've got there, or the 2 metal lugs that we've got there. And I'm holding that in with some screws, and they are these black DS02 screws. And once again on this build, I don't think I've used my PH0 screwdriver. All of these parts have been PH1 because it's so big. But this is going into metal, so I am putting it in oil, but I'm not making it too tight because if you tighten this plastic up to the metal too tight, it's going to crack. So just enough till it stops turning like that. We've got 2 parts left over, which are the glazing here and just this shield, but they're used in the next stage. So in stage 12 here, again, here's the magazine. Let's have a flick through. And we've got now the mechanics for the window to be going up and down. So we've got all the gears to put in place, including the hinge of the door here as well. So by the end of it, we'll have all the mechanics for the window and the hinge in place. Again, here is the rest of the magazine. And here's all of those gears from stage 12. Bring up my mat again, because the first thing we're going to be doing is putting in the hinge. So this hinge is metal and it needs to go in this way with the flat side facing down just over that section there like that. Then I've got a metal bracket to put over the top of that looking like this. It goes over the 2 lugs on this side and it's going to be secured with 1 screw there, which is a DS02 screw. Again, I'm going into metal, so I'm putting that in nice and tight. And you do want to make sure this one is in tight. The next thing we've got is this window guide, which is going to go into this section here. We've got 2 locating lugs and 1 screw hole, which are going to go in here. So just got to line up that 1 hole. And then once you put the locating lugs in, it should sit nice and flush in there like that. Again, I'm holding that in with one of the black DS02 screws. And now that's in, it's time to put these gears in. Now we've got 3 gears here. The first one I want looks like this. And that's going to be going just onto this point just here like that, sitting on top there. This is the second gear. We want this to be facing this way round, and it's going to be going next to it and engaging in that one there. And then finally we've got this small gear here, which is going to be going with this section here facing upwards in there like that. Now we've got these flange DS04 screws, which I need to open now. That's going to keep all of these gears in place and stop them going anywhere. Now you can make these tight, because their job is just to stop these coming out, but they'll still be able to turn. So I'll do the other 2 here. And then finally the last one's just going through that large section there. That will keep this into place. And that is the gears in place. So just check they turn okay. That looks good. Okay, take the glazing that we had in the last stage, and the channel is just going to run through this center section here, and as you can see it's engaged with the gears. So basically when the gears turn, it's going to go down. When you turn them the other way, it's going to go up like that. Now to keep that in place, we've got this window guide, which is going to go over the top just like that there. I'm going to be putting a DS2 screw into the metal section of the door skin just on this side. And then a PS05 screw, which is a plastic screw. That's going to be going into this hole just here. So again, I just want to check that that works. As you can see, perfect. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 13, last stage of this pack. Here's the magazine. And we are now got some trim for the doors. We've got the winding mechanism for the window. We're going to be putting this all into place. And by the end of it, I think we're going to have a finished door, as you can see there. This is the rest of the magazine. So not many parts in this, just some trim panels and some screws really. But the first thing I need to do is just open this little pack of details, because we've got the winding mechanism handle here. And what I want to do is take this small knob here, and that's going to be going onto the handle there, but it's screwed in from the other side with a PS07 screw. Very tiny screw, this one. That's why I'm using my PH0 screwdriver. Easiest way to do this is put the screw in there first, and then offer the other side up here. And the reason you do it this way is because you want to make sure that that screw is going in straight to the knob. And by doing it that way, it ensures that happens. Now, the other little detail I've got here is the side mirror attachment. This has got kind of like a D-shaped hole. So this is going to be going into this hole here, like that. And again, from the other side here, it's held in with a PS25 screw. Chunky screw, this one, so I'm back to my PH1 screwdriver. And then we want to bring over the bit of trim that we had in the last pack, looking like this. Take this section here, and this is going to be going on first. So this is going on just this section here, like that. Again, I'm going to be turning this over and fixing that in with these PS25 screws that we just used. So one there, and one here. I'm going to forgo the part work upgrades mat now, because I don't need it down for too long, because I'm going to actually put this section onto this section here. So I want to make sure that the winding mechanism hole goes through here, just like that, and it should fit comfortably in position like that. I'm going to be putting DS02 screws through this hole here and this hole here. You do want to make sure these are in tight, because you don't want this inner door card going anywhere. And once we put the trim on top of that, you're not really going to be able to get to the screws that I'm just tightening up here. All I've got to do then is take the winding mechanism, which has got a keyhole pattern, match it with the hole there, and I should be able to put the door window up and down, as you can see there. Excellent. the last thing to do is put this last bit of trim into place. It's going to be a bit tricky because we do have this door handle here. So what I'm going to do is put this to where it's kind of going to go, and then lift that with a screwdriver there so it slots in like that. Excellent. Once we've got those two sides in, clip the top ones in. 1, 2. That's that trim in. The handle's still able to move, and that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. I find the Mustang quite an easy model to build, to be honest with you, but having it in 1/6 Scout makes it even easier. You do get a little binder in these to actually keep your magazines, so I can actually just drop those in there and we keep them into collection as well. Enjoyed that. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.